Domestic Nakanojo, also known as Domestic Girlfriend, follows the story of Natsuo, a high school student with dreams of becoming a successful novelist. He lives alone with his father as his mother passed away over a decade ago. Natsuo has a loyal best friend who's a bit chubby with whom he shares all his secrets. He's also head over heels for his teacher, who sends him mixed signals. She says younger guys aren't her thing, but then drops hints and glances that suggest otherwise. Why play with his feelings? Natsuo already struggles watching her. There's no need to deepen that ache in his heart. One day, some friends invite him to hang out with girls his age, and that's when he meets Ri. She has blue hair and usually looks grumpy, but she's an amazing cook. Surprisingly, she suggests to Natsuo that they can be intimate, and he agrees, partly because she reminds him of his teacher. Natsuo tells his best friend about his encounter with a stranger. Honestly, this friend feels more like his therapist, since he's always there to listen whenever something happens. When he gets home, his dad mentions he's dating someone and that they will be meeting her that night. When they arrive, Natsuo gets a shock. His teacher and Ri, the blue-haired girl, are sisters and the daughters of his dad's new girlfriend. And to top it all off, they will be living together in the same house. At this point, Natsuo, feeling confused, can't stop looking at his teacher, who has quite a weakness for alcohol, taking advantage of the fact that she's alone and has passed out after drinking. He tries to kiss her, but her blue-haired sister, Ri, shows up and drags her away. Shortly after, Ri transfers to Natsuo's school, where she struggles to make friends, so he decides to help her out. As a thank you, Rin joins him in the bath. During that moment, she confesses that her sister is in a toxic relationship with a married man. Natsuo seeks advice at the cafe where his best friend works, who shares the conversations of couple who go there. Later, on their way to the cafe, Natsuo and his friend see the teacher saying goodbye to her partner. Back at home, Natsuo tries to make her see that her relationship won't work. She tries to kick him out of her room, but suddenly they kiss. She pushes him back, and before he knows it, they keep making out. After tossing him onto the bed and tearing his shirt, she finally kicks him out. Angry, Natsuo goes to his best friend's house, and his friend's parents think he's upset about their marriage, so they consider getting a divorce. Alright, I forgot to mention, they ended up getting married. But don't get too excited, the parents don't actually go through with the divorce. Ri, who had been looking for Natsuo, ends up at his friend's house. Together, they come up with a plan to figure out who the teacher's mystery boyfriend is. They follow her and spy from a distance, but come up empty. They try again and still have no luck. After a third attempt, they are no closer to finding him. In desperation, they switch to Plan V, steal her phone while she's in the shower so her sister can call the guy and tell him it's over. But she gets nervous, so they don't achieve their goal. Feeling down, they head to the cafe looking for comfort when suddenly the teacher arrives with her boyfriend. While they are all eating together, the guy says something he shouldn't, and just as Natsuo is about to punch him, Ri throws a glass of water on him and runs away. The next day, the teacher tells them she broke up with the guy and everyone feels happy and relieved. Soon after, Ri meets a girl named Momo who's notorious in school for being very easy to get with. Not only that, but she also falls for Natsuo, asking him to cook for her since she lives alone. Later, Natsuo joins the literature club where he meets the club president, a girl with green hair who struggles with communication and seems to have a crush on a rather strange teacher. When Natsuo gets home, the teacher unexpectedly invites him out, just casually asking, "Wanna go out?" Enough already with playing with poor Natsuo's heart. "Oh, you make such a cute couple. We're siblings." With a stuff like this, I'd lost faith in humanity. Later, at the beach, the teacher confesses her feelings to Natsuo and takes his hand, leading him towards the ocean. "What are you doing? Didn't you say you didn't like me?" "Yes, but why are you taking me to the sea?" "Because being with you feels like suicide." "Oh, that must have hurt." At school, Natsuo meets this guy, the junkie who later joins the literature club and seems to forget he's no longer in the US.
Sucks. Say a prayer! Mission complete!
Later on, Ri kisses Natsuo again, but the teacher sees them and feeling jealous, runs off. Ri opens up about her feelings, so she decides to leave home to have some time alone with Natsuo. Meanwhile, he tells his blue-haired sisters he's going to see his best friend. The weird teacher has been missing for a few days, so they decide to visit him at his house. They find out he's a famous writer and he invites them to submit their stories to a contest, which Natsuo shares with the green-haired club president the next day. Hey, you like the teacher, right? Why do you say that? I saw you two making out the other day. I know you like him. Shut up. So she pushes him down the stairs and Natsuo ends up with a cast on his leg. The blue-haired girl finds out he wasn't with his best friend, so she goes to see her sisters and finds them together. Jealous, she also runs off into the rain. Natsuo decides to follow her. Alone, and let's be honest, that cast isn't going to last with all this rain and mud, and let's not even talk about the cold they are likely to catch. After this, Natsuo starts writing to cope with his depression from not winning the writing contest. But then, during a school outgoing, he kisses his teacher while everyone is distracted, or so we thought, because apparently a photographer caught the moment and showed it to the principal. This leads to the teacher being transferred to another school, which deepens Natsuo's despair, making him unable to get out of bed because she was sent to the other side of the country. So he has to move again. One day he wakes up inspired and starts writing. Days pass without him leaving his room until he finishes his work. He submits it to another contest, wins the prize, and it seems he's surpassed the teacher. Not only that, but his blue-haired sister is now more into him than before, all because her sister is no longer around. She says, now that there's no competition, you're mine. And that's how the anime ends. We don't know if Natsuo ever saw the teacher again. If he became the writer he always wanted to be. We also don't know if the weird teacher and the green-haired president ended up together, or if the blonde yankee is a womanizer or bisexual. In short, this anime was inspired by the northern side of Latin America.